This is the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Bad guy, you just got by the bomb. What are you doing? Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Getting an early start tonight. Just kind of wanted to start early. Part of the reason is because Gears Reloaded came out, and I just kind of want to play it, and I want to play it before it's like midnight. I've been playing it a little bit the last couple days, and I really have been enjoying it. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. In fact, I couldn't play it today because the servers were down. In the year of our Lord 2025, servers going down on what is ostensibly a AAA title. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't count because it's a remaster slash remake, whatever. It's a remake slash remaster of a remake slash remaster. So I don't know. Whatever. Bottom line is we're here early. We're going to be looking at some Phobies games. Of course, as we get into things, I have to let everybody know that I am part of the content affiliate program. That means that the Phobies team does, in fact, give me coffee for producing Phobies content that you're going to see, if I hit the right button, that big coffee total over there. And it's going to be growing because it's a monthly thing. But we're going to jump in. We, once again, have our cup overfloweth with viewer games. And I have had a number of people reach out and ask and say, hey, you know, how do I submit games? And it's always good to see that because it means that there's new people discovering not just my content, which, I mean, I care, but I'm doing this for funsies. Like, look, they give me coffee, but like, I'm not paying my electric bill with the coffee. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, I'm not getting much out of that. Obviously, I'm not spending it, but, I'm doing it because I enjoy Phobies. I enjoy watching the games. But it's good for Phobies, specifically, because it means that there's new blood coming in. I've always harped on the idea that you need new people coming in. Now, retaining people is important, but it is... I put it secondary to bringing new people in. You do need both, but that's a longer, more esoteric discussion that probably nobody cares about. So we'll switch scenes here as I get a little more organized. We're going to jump into our first game. I'm going to pull this up right meow. Let's see what we've got. It's this one. All right, great. Ginger, Gabe, leading us off. Our hero in the blue trunks on like and subscribe. Hey. Surprise heart attack from Vault for the dub. Wait, what? It's a pretty large map to pull that off from. I assume there's a... Like, how could you Vault snipe and kill their heart? Is it like... 1, 2, here, 1, 2. It's possible, like, you have a 3-ranger, right? And if you break the blocks... Let me get my telestrator up here as we're watching the game. So if you break, like, these blocks, and then you march a cupcake and you have a guy here... This is not going to work at all because the thing moves. But, like, you break this block, you march a cupcake up to there, and then you get somebody on the stem, and then you hit the heart? Maybe? Leela. Sure, whatever. Why not? All right, Poison Ivy. All right, I can get behind it, I guess. It's likely there's a trap there, given the Leela position. Or at least if there's not, it will preemptively... Yep, there it is. And the trappers cancel out. We do have a cat being kind of sneaky up here in the north. Interesting positioning with the Klepto because it's not in position to hit the cat. And it's also not on the stem, but it is in range of the jar. I guess they're trying to bait the jar to come in so that way they can hit it with the Klepto / Gin Sting and eliminate it. But either way, this cat looks like it's going to continue its rampage. Wait, did the cat attack? Nah, it doesn't matter. Cat's dead. 9 lives gone. For shame. What a waste. What a waste. It really wasn't. It was actually a lot of value out of that cat. I mean, even aside from, hey, I got a little bit of damage, hey, I capped a panic point for a couple turns longer than I probably should have ever had it for, it also drew the Klepto and the Leela back. So from a tempo perspective, these Phobies are just, they're out of position, and they're not interacting on the map in ways that your opponent, your opponent really wants to do. Like in this case, now the Leela has had to double move just to, like... I don't know what just happened. Nobody's over there and something just fell down. My house is haunted, chat. Don't tell my wife. Oh, that looks like somebody hung a gravedigger. Oh yeah, he did. It doesn't look like there's enough. I mean, you could get 2 hits from Hematic, a hit from regular Gin Sting, and then maybe like a jar, and that is likely not nearly enough. Oh my god, dude, what is going on? I am so tired all of a sudden. I was fine. Thought I was fine. I don't know. I am feeling... I'm in a weird mood, chat. My season is effectively over competitively for Star Wars. For this leg of the season. It's broken into like 3 parts. And then each of them lead into the annual World Championship that had just... Last year's Worlds was in this past July. So this is the first leg of the new season. It's already over just because of the way the tournaments worked out, where a lot of the local ones were front-loaded. So, I don't really have anything to look forward to competitive-wise for, like... There is a big event in October that I'm going to try to attend, but, like, it's a different format. So I'm not really going to be playing the main format till, like, next year. And it feels weird to think about it in that context. Like, it might literally be 5 or 6 months before I play anything. And the weird thing is, I don't feel bad about that. Like, I feel pretty good, which is probably very telling. Not bad. The spider's gotten a lot of value. Pop goes the Klepto. Yeah, bad guy. Just kind of getting picked left and right here. Not gonna lie. Part of the reason I started launching into my anecdote. We'll lose the spider here, but I mean... Can't say that you didn't get value out of it. 2 yoinks is generally more than... 2, like, kills in that fashion is probably more than you would typically expect for something such as a Moffat. Past a certain level, that is. Although, what's interesting, when you have stuff like that where it's like, oh yeah, that you're not likely to get that level of value, you're not likely to have XYZ happen past a certain level. But the fact of the matter is, What is happening here? Did we juice the jar for just a single hit? I don't know about that one. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. You can say that something won't happen past a certain skill bracket level, whatever. But there's also a... You have to recognize... Like, there is a narrow window where not only have you recognized that you can do a thing, but that your opponent doesn't recognize it as well, and therefore counters it, either by positioning or dealing with your threat or whatever. So, like, you need both them to not know and you to know. And we always focus on the them not knowing, but it is very easy to also have the other end of it where it's like, oh, well, you could have made all these plays and you just didn't even realize they were there. Bad guy with the invade here. Pretty bold, but our hero does still have 8 keys remaining. Rambolina. Whoa! Okay. It isn't quite what I was thinking. As far as, like, oh, you pop somebody out of vault and they immediately cause the kill on the heart. But triple move into boop into triple move was something that I also kind of had mulling around in my head of, like, maybe that's what they mean. I mean, bad guy's cooked. Bad guy is cooked. I wonder when we're going to hit the upper limit of 3 movers. Like, at what point in the game is... It's too many 3 movers. You know what I mean? Like, what if there was a 3 mover at every resource cost? Like, we have Snowball at 3, we have Rambolina at 7, we have, Rambo... Or no, that not... I'm saying Rambolina, Mr. Tramples. Mr. Tramples is here now. Mr. Tramples is at 7. Rambolina is at 6. Werewolf is at 4, technically. If there's another one I can't think of, at least. I don't know, chat, help me out. Let me know down in the comments. But, I wonder, like, are we gonna hit too many 3 movers where it's just like, yeah, you can't have that many. It's actually a problem for the game. Bad guy making a valiant attempt, but that's a lot of HP between the Quagmire and the Mr. Tramples, and that would be the ball game, folks. Well played. That was actually pretty cool. I think... I don't know. Part of me says, like, you didn't need to do that. Like, it could have... Their push could have been defended, but maybe not. It is definitely a way cooler finish that way. If nothing else, it's definitely cooler to see it finish that way. Oh, Gabe is here. Hey, Gabe, what's good? I had the telestrator up, so it was blocking chat. So I didn't see that you had tuned in for the live stream, which if you're watching this on YouTube, probably people don't watch this part in between. But if you're watching this on YouTube, you can up the links in the description for the live stream. Oh boy, I hope you got your poop socks ready, because Burning Rings, I was going to say, Burning Rings has got a 36-turn game, but it's really Painful Fate on Burning Rings. Glob is so hungry, time to feed him. Well, my man went to an all-you-can-eat buffet, because this game is, like... It's an entire era. Like the Bronze Era. The Stone Age. Generations have lived and died. Civilizations. Empires. rose up and crumbled within the span of this single game. We got a very early Ash out of Painful Fate. I don't understand why, but I'm sure we'll find out. Actually, was it Painful Fate? We saw somebody use Ash, I think, on this map fairly effectively. I could be wrong. Might have been Painful Fate. I'm confused. I don't remember. We watch a lot of games. I don't want to say they all run together after a while. Some of them do. Some of them do. Like, we do hit strings of that every once in a while when people submit games. It's like, yeah, I mean, you won, but, like, it wasn't anything that cool. And, of course, it's always interesting to have, like, wacky stuff happen or something unique happen as compared to, like, oh, well, you just beat the living snot out of this other person because, you know, you out-leveled them or you out-skilled them or both, and, you know, you just crapped on them. Ooh, this is actually kind of adorable. It's not the heebie-jeebie special. What should we call something like this where you just block, like physically body block someone's phobie in a spot? Admittedly, because Bachelor is one of the body blockers, you can kind of free yourself, but not really. Okay, so it was probably attack trap. Because, like, why would you only attack once otherwise? Okay, never mind. That's why. I didn't see that the murder wing was in position. I'll admit, I missed it. I'm a little tired. Quite obviously, but as evidenced by the yawning. We got double spiders, arachnophobia warning. You know, when did that start? When did games start putting arachnophobia warnings? Like, I know there's a lot of people afraid of spiders, and I'm confident some number of them are, like, it is a debilitating fear, right? But when did it become commonplace to put those warnings? I remember that the first time I saw it, I was playing Grounded, which was not, like, that's a fairly recent game. And it's like, it's basically Honey, I Shrunk the Kids that game. And so your characters get shrunk down, they're in the backyard, and then, you know, you're having to fight bugs and stuff. And it's like a survival crafting game kind of thing. And it actually warns you, like, the first time, I think I don't know if it's at the beginning of the game or it warns you. Oh, that's a great play. Speaking of fear of spiders. All right. Now I see why they have the arachnophobia now. But, like, they warn you, and the spiders in that game are actually fucking creepy. Like, they are fast, and they are among the deadliest enemies in the game. At least up to the point that I had played. I never actually finished it. I don't know if there is a finishing that game. But they are fast and they are unsettling, which I imagine if you were an insect or fellow arachnid, a spider would probably fit that description, right? Bad guy finally capping their final panic point. I wonder how many horror games do they, like, are there other games that I know, like, they'll have an epilepsy warning, right? Which makes sense. Like, that can cause physical injury, right? If there's going to be flashing lights or something, that makes sense. And then now there's this arachnophobia warning. I wonder how common coulrophobia is, since it is a name of a map in this game. And obviously we have clowns like that. Nobody likes clowns, right? But I don't know, like, how common is coulrophobia as an actual phobia? And then, by extension, is it common enough to meet whatever threshold the arachnophobia warning causes? Like, I don't have a problem with these warnings existing. I'm just curious, like, what is the threshold for that says, okay, now it's a common enough fear, or is the fear is so strong? Because, like, that's two ways to look at it, right? Like, either it's so common that, like, there's so many people that there's a need for it. Or it is so debilitating that you need to warn people because of the potential ramifications. Now somebody's got to remind me to look this up, because now I'm, like, legitimately curious. See what you've done, Painful Fate, with your goddamn marathon game. I will say the Moffat, like, I really did like that Moffat play. I thought that was really cool. I thought that was pretty cool. Alright, we're just gonna stare at each other, but bad guy is down a panic point? No, wait, this is dead even? Oh, nobody capped the bottom one! I thought this was blue the whole time. Oh my god. Just send something down there. Keeping the sheep safe. No! Cap this panic point! Come on. Just so that there's a clock. This is why this game went on for 1,000 years. Although, did the poison ivy get enraged on the bottom to put a trap down there? I don't think it did. I don't think it did. I'm getting more comfortable since we're going to be here a while, chat. Well, fetch action, bad guy thought the displacement looked fun, so they're finally going to do the same. I don't know. Glob. Victim number 1. Honestly, bad guy, until that fetch is in position, I guess maybe the shove shark. Wait, can you shove shark something that's in a glob? That's come up before, but I don't remember. It is, in fact, glob victim number 1. So the fetch is in position to try and make something happen. Finnegan. Alright, that's a extreme amount of anti-glob. And we just rotate back down. I hope this game was Arena. Because if this was async, and imagine doing like 1 turn a day. You know, just because that's what's available to you. You know, by the time this game rolls around, you got your other async games, you got real life stuff going on. Imagine doing 1 turn a day, and then it's just like, yeah, we're just rotating back and forth. Just absolutely miserable. Absolutely miserable. And there's the glob! This is another glob kill. Oh boy. This is the safer one, of course, because otherwise Fetch / Finnegan not only dislodges the glob, kills it. It's going to go into the abyss. But instead, Finnegan goes down. Getting the boop. Getting the Bomangles follow-up, but that's probably not... Oh, it's close, but not enough. Not enough damage. Into the trap, too. That's pretty obnoxious. I'm pretty sure the Glob still can get the kill. I think Glob's ability is the first thing that triggers each turn, right? At the end of each turn. We're going to find out momentarily. 10 more turns, by the way. You can't let your opponent eat, like, 10 keys worth of stuff with Glob and expect to win, right? You just can't. The Clinico snipe? Oh no, this is probably just for the lava. I mean, good play by bad guy, but our hero's still in position. Getting a lot of ash value, I will say. Not the spider you expect to get a ton of value, but it is getting a lot of value. Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. Bad guy advancing, but our hero's 3 Phobies are looking a little bit better than bad guy's 3 Phobies. I know the health may lead you to believe otherwise, but... And that's the end of bad guy. Why are there 6 more turns? Does bad guy, like, run away? Oh, come on, man. This game is over. You can't win. It is not possible for you to win. This is somebody, like, when I used to, I think I've told this before, like, when I would play RTSs, the worst was, like, when somebody would hide in the corner. You know, like, you've clearly lost. I'm going to hide a farm across the map, or in StarCraft, I'll float my Terran buildings into the corner, and then it's just going to take you 20 more minutes to figure out, like, oh, well, which corner did you hide in? And I have enough resources that my workers have scattered everywhere, and I can make 1,000,000 farms, and then that person just literally gets up and walks away, or you as the other player have to surrender, because it's like, you don't want to sit there and chase him down. And, like, okay, maybe the heart kind of looks like it's in danger here for our hero, but it's not really. It's not. There's no way bad guy can win this. So, like, just send your guys in. The 4 extra XP or tiers that you get are not worth it. And this game mercifully ends. GG. GG. All right, chat, I need to take a quick break. I'll be right back. All right, chat, we're back. Sorry about that. All right, let me see what we got next. We do have a bunch of dupes. I mean, we still have 20 games or so in here. But there are a number of repeats, so it's trying to find the next unique individual. All right. We have a game that takes less time than it took for the dinosaurs to die out. High-level player versus low-level player game. I think they underestimated me. Scorpioastro, our hero here on Magnificent. I don't know why, but I find that map name really funny. It's really funny to me. I just don't know why. I didn't see the levels as we zoned in. That's a level 13 versus a level 6. So there is a significant level differential. Yes, Scorpio. I would promise you that they underestimated you. Like, I guarantee you. It is both common, and we've talked about this before, but, like, the way this game works, the reality is they are higher level, they are at an advantage, right? Like, no one's going to deny that. Their stuff is just literally better than yours. And since there is not there's no appropriate carrot for winning your games other than just the feel-good of winning, which, don't get me wrong, winning feels good. But, like, most games, like, you level up, you get skins. You level up, you get some unlocks. You level up, ooh, nice bomb. You know, you get stuff, right? Or there is a tournament track where you are trying to, you know, you're using ladder for practice, so therefore you want to get better for the purpose of performing better in tournaments, or the tournaments you just need to perform well. You know, like, you get the idea. That doesn't exist for Phobies because, as many people have pointed out, like, the monthly rewards are kind of pointless. They don't really scale appropriately. So as a result, if you are higher level, it is entirely likely that your opponent, like, odds are you win just by sheer weight of numbers. So putting in a ton of effort to properly play against them isn't necessarily a good time investment, which sounds like kind of a crazy statement, but it's true. If you don't, like, if your goal is to just turn over games and you have X win percentage anyway, like, if you have a 90% chance to win against somebody who's this much lower level than you, then you probably are going to start playing in a certain fashion to try and turn over games faster rather than play them properly. And that's not to try and take anything away from your win or this game in particular, but they just put Rocket Man on the board. Somewhere Luffy has been summoned. Well, I guess here Luffy has been summoned, but Luffy is now aware of the summons somewhere since Rocket Man is here. But yeah, bottom line is that I wonder how many high-level players have just, like, go through the motions now, when, especially against players that are not remotely close to their level, like their phobia level. I have no idea why Bad Guy just did that. So they moved the Noxious into range of the sheep to heal it of poison. To get bombed in the identical place that they got bombed like 4 turns ago. Like, was this bait to kill the sheep? This is the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Bad Guy, you just got by the bomb. What are you doing? I mean, we do get the... Oh, no, it's a melee. It's a melee. So I was going to say we do get the freeze, and then he slapped, and I'm like, yeah, you can't actually freeze. I mean, you could, but it would be pointless. I was thinking the freeze on the goon, but... Down goes Noxious. 11 keys for Bad Guy, 8 for our hero, but a tractor has just been added to the team, and flail. The flail is kind of interesting. I don't really get the Boo Fairy myself, but... Yeah, you gotta back it up a little bit. You don't want to risk the freeze or additional damage. I mean, the poison is bad enough. Alright, Bad Guy making an attempt at reclaiming some panic points, but is this worth it? I don't know. I don't know. This is a great heads-up bomb here. That's 3 bombs that were multi-target. It wasn't just, oh, I'm throwing this out here because I want a ranged attack. It hit multi-target, too, in this case, and it hit things that mattered. It also maybe kept this goon alive, despite the poison and the lava. It might... The math is going to be weird. We're going to find out. Because, like, you take the 633... You should tank this lava. Panic point advantage maintained, but 0 keys for our hero. 11 remaining for bad guy, and they go smother mother. This is why bad guy lost. They went halfy. Why did you go halfy? I can't believe this poison is still on this freaking goon. Dude, do you have another bomb in you? No, it's got to be on cooldown, right? Okay. Whoa. I don't know if I've ever heard the goon death noise before. That was weird. It sounded so sad. Flail goes down, but that's still 708 damage landing on the ray. I have to imagine this halfie's not long for this world, but shouldn't have been in this world to begin with. Oh, wow. You gotta spend so much effort to kill this guy. Yikes. I thought you were moving the Quagmire just for the sake of, like, allowing the attractor to reposition. What? I don't want to piss in your Cheerios. But I don't... I'm pretty sure this person... They just didn't finish the game. That one's a little unfortunate. It honestly was not looking great for you either. Hold on. Let me just make sure that we... Yeah, I'm like 90% sure that was the right game. I just want to make sure, like... Yeah, the game expired. I think bad guy was in a great spot. Or maybe not a great spot, but they were in a pretty good spot. Hey, a win is a win. A win is a win. Oh my god. Alright. Fatal Road, our hero here on... It doesn't even matter. Why is this game fucking 51 turns? Somebody did this on purpose. The notes here are Murder Wing is red rumming. Hint, reverse red rum and see what you get. You may be able to tell by looking at me. I've been around a little bit. I have heard of red rum before. I wonder how many people, like, don't get the reference from red rum anymore. Like, is that an old people thing now? Either way, what happened? Who hurt both of you that you felt that 51 turns was an appropriate game length? Also, notably, this map is not called Red Rum. I get why you're saying Murder Wing was red rumming, but... Alright, so by the way, I did see that this was a low-level, stress-level game. Our hero here is only, like, stress level 38. So we're going to see some weird phobies. I'm getting comfortable, chat, because we're going to be here for a little bit. 51-turn games are, like... I don't mind long games, and I know there are people that enjoy longer games. Not just in Phobies, but just in general. I've kind of just accepted that if a game takes longer than 20 minutes to play, I'm not going to say it's bad, but it's definitely not for me. I like the drop-in, drop-out nature of faster games. And it does, you know, like, I'll play games that take longer, and but it needs to be able to be played, like, if I play an RPG, it's got to be able to be played in 20-minute increments and not have, like, where was I, what was I doing, and it takes me 15 of the 20 minutes to remember what the hell was happening, that sort of thing. Ooh, bad guy with the pick. Our hero on the ropes early here. Should get the counter kill on the Gravedigger, which is a big pickup, given the way this map, or this matchup, is probably going to play out. Bad guy, I'm fairly certain Jar plus Murder Wing should kill their Murder Wing. Kill our hero's Murder Wing, and our hero's down to 3 keys already. If I'm bad guy, it might be worth... Or, you don't even need the Murder Wing. You need Bow Mangles plus Jar, probably. Oof. This is not looking good for our hero. We'll be able to get the Jar pick, most likely, but there's Erratic backing up the, to deter the Sabian attack. Do you get the Primate? Okay, okay, we're cooking. Okay. I was going to say, if you don't replace that body block, they probably will just trade Murder Wings. Sabian does have a ton of health. Dude, there's only 3 keys left. How does this game go on for another almost 40 turns? Is everybody just hiding in the corners? God, I hope not. I really thought you were going to go in with Sabian for a second. I like repositioning on it. You don't want to expose it to more hits from that Murder Wing. Because they would kind of be freebies. I'm not going to lie. I have no idea how you win this game. Like, how does bad guy lose this? They should have just killed that freaking... Well, I guess they needed to heal. I don't know. So, you can, like... Bad guy could just set up a challenge play here? I guess they didn't need the challenge play. It is a bunch of slow-moving phobies, but... Okay. But I don't think you can really threaten the heart. I guess if you can just dance forever and just poke them a million times with a jar, right? Because if you ever outright try and fight, I think you die. Maybe not ever. Big double hit. Oh, wow. All right. I didn't think Bo was going to go down. Bad guy. That's a huge blunder there. Because, yes, you'll lose the Sabian here. But you have a massive amount of mobility, and you can kind of hunt down their... well, by the same token... You do need to chip this Erratic into range. No, maybe not. Since you're able to just dance on these panic points, like, I just don't know that... Now I understand why the game goes on so long, which is still absurd, but... Jesus. Honestly, like, I've complained a lot about the lack of a surrender mechanic. I mean, yes, you can surrender, but no, you get penalized for it, which is silly. And I'm gonna move my water over here. I just don't know. Like, this does not seem like a game where somebody would surrender. You know what I mean? Like, it is not... Now, Bad Guy does have the erratic in the position that you would need it. It can cover these 2 panic points. It can kind of defend here. They are behind, but panic points add up pretty quick. I don't know. I just don't see this coming to a reasonable conclusion once it hits this board state. It's just going to drag out no matter what. Like, I don't know that you can fix that. But this is kind of what I was expecting, is eventually our hero gets the Clinico, not Metabot. And then the superior mobility is just going to lock down this erratic at some point. Or, you know, you can just poke at the heart. Can you tank a hit from this erratic? I have to assume so. Honestly, that turn you possibly could have pushed with the Murder Wing and then made them choose, like, hey, you can either target the jar or you can target the Murder Wing. I mean, now you can make a run for it. Back towards the heart, I guess. I wonder how many games of Phobies naturally hit this game length. And when I say, well, I mean, I guess this would be a natural extension to this game length. But what I'm saying is, like, I guess the better way to phrase it is how many Sum of All Fears 3 games hit 50 turns? GG. GG. Very well played. Pulling victory from the clutches of defeat. I don't know. 51 turn game. I was trying to think of other stuff to add, and it's just like that game is just too long. That is a long, long game. I got another suggested tournament game to review. I'll probably do that tomorrow during the day. Oh my god, with these games. What is it to... I swear, everybody saves these games. dearh here is our hero. Up against Studio Bugtron. Got a big fish. Studio Bugtron is, in fact, a big fish in this particular pond. Excuse me. Again, why did this game go on so long? I don't love that part of it. Not a fan of the 40-turn game. On Like and Subscribe, no less. A map that I cannot stand. I'm actually not I legitimately don't like this map. I truly would not lie to you about this. I do not enjoy this particular map. It's just kind of annoying. I find it very annoying. I do wish that the devs would experiment a little bit more with the map sizes, in the sense that, like, I want to see a big map with small key quantity, and a small map with big key quantity. I think both are probably going to work out unfavorably, as in they will not really be good maps or not really be fun to play, but I think it would be an interesting wrinkle just to try it. I just don't know that it's really going to work out positively, truth be told. Did get the aggressive spider at the top, speaking of arachnophobia, and we got another aggressive spider coming in from the south. And we got a brute worst, becoming a signature, I would say. Let's take the hat off, it's too hot right now, chat. It's too hot right now. It's part of what's making me tired, I think, trapping the heat. So, chat, I started watching Alien Earth. Watched the first 3 episodes. I think the 4th one might be out by now. I do like it. I really like the Alien and Predator series anyway. Movies and the like Predator Killers and the comics and the games and stuff. There's some weird stuff going on in Alien Earth, and not from like a story perspective. Like, the dialogue feels weird. I don't like how the xenomorph actually moves. It looks like absurd in a bad way at certain points. It's way gorier than I think anything up to this point that I've seen, but I also didn't see AVP Resurrection, the sequel, or Requiem. Yeah, it wasn't Resurrection, it was Requiem. Apparently that was pretty gory. I don't mind the gore, it's just like, we always knew the aliens were dangerous, but a lot of it was like fade to black / just straight up done off screen, and you don't see what happens. It's also crazy to me how much the xenomorphs will vary in power level. Like, I get these are unprepared civilians and pseudo-civilians, because, like, they have this police security force that is kind of, like, militarized. They're like a weird paramilitary. And, spoiler alert, they just get fucking brutalized by the xenomorph. And then there were a bunch of civilians that got attacked, that also obviously just got devastated. However, both of these attack sequences happen in the span of, like, less than 10 seconds. This thing tears through, like, a dozen or more people in literal seconds. Like, literal seconds. And I get that they're supposed to be incredibly fast, durable, strong, whatever. But just the size of the room means that this thing is moving at, like, light speed. Which, okay, fine. It's an inhumanly fast creature. There are animals in nature that are super fast, and, like, okay, this is an apex predator, it's an alien, blah, 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 whatever. But we've seen it in other movies where it just, like, humans can't really fight it. You can't fist fight the alien. It's not going to go well. But we've seen people run from them, for example. And yeah, sure, they had a head start, or the thing's like crawling on the ceiling, so it's like, I don't know, it just feels weird because it feels so much stronger than it did in previous iterations, from what I remember. And it hasn't been that long since I watched Aliens, so I don't know. Are we going to get some action here? We're prepping. We're trying to connect this Firkin with the Frosty. Zappy in position to kind of shoo away the Hevo. Because if Hevo wants to get interested, it's going to get tagged. Hevo is interested. It's going for the big hit. This is a dead Hevo 3.0. It has to be, right? I don't think Bad Guy really has a good way to supplement this. Like, do you get a kill here? Oh, well, you get the Firkin. That's actually a big pickup. But that's not good. I don't think they were trying to kill your Gravedigger. It is obnoxious because you can no longer just run a 1 key in. However, the trap combined with the Zappy, and we should have an AoE hit that can connect at least with Hematic. Ooh, it's actually going to connect more. That's great. Shove Shark Push. Big ol' AoE from the Brute Worst. Plaid? We saw Plaid fail Master Dark in the tournament game. Wow, this turn... That's having yourself a day. Like, that's a great turn. That is a great, great turn. Unfortunately, also a good turn. Down goes Zappy. Zero keys is 0 keys, and that blue is going to connect. Down goes Hematic. Just putting the electrical right up in your face. We're not worried about that. I mean, like, it matters, but... Ooh. Oh, no, never mind. I was going to say, does the Brute Worst live? But even if Frosty didn't get it, the Inoculus could come in and clip it. Wait. Wait. Oh, you needed the Inoculus to finish the Gravedigger? I don't really agree with that. Well, did you need this damage? Maybe Bad Guy needed that damage, but I feel like you'd be better off pushing the Inoculus forward to start chipping the Plaid, to be honest. Maybe I'm wrong, but that seems like I don't care about that Gravedigger. I care about the Plaid. Even powered down like this. Admittedly, you do get the Frosty on the stem to tag the Plaid. Okay, never mind. Bad Guy did all the math. That was absolutely calculated, but dead Frosty. And I think this might be a dead Inoculus just because of the... Never mind. Reposition. I was thinking you might be able to get there just due to the amount of damage output from the Electric Cat. Alright, so the risk now is, can you kill the Gravedigger before it's able to go face? Gotta run this guy down. Is this really 11 turns of repositioning Gravedigger on the heart? You gotta be kidding me. Alright, new rule. People have got to space out these, like, 4,000 turn games. Because this is absolutely absurd. This, I will say, is good heads-up play. The positioning here is a good idea. Because trying to swing the unicorn over the top is just not going to work out. But this forces the gravedigger away, protects your heart. You have a panic point advantage. And now bad guy has to come after you. I wonder if it would have been optimal for bad guy to come back and try and go for the middle tile. That way you could threaten actually going after the heart again, but you probably just have to immediately back out as bad guy regardless. Either way, GG. This was pretty interesting, despite it being a 40-turn game. GG. What happened? What? Really, the Steam Deck didn't activate things the way it was supposed to. All right, halfway through chat. Let's see what we've got. Ooh, this is a tournament game. All right, hold on. We got to do this right. We'll reload this. Let me get into character chat. Because I'll keep this in the video, but we'll pull this out. Because it's a tournament one, and I want to make sure that we're giving attention to the tournament game as best I can. Unfortunately, there's a bunch of pile of shit in the background. Whatever. All right, here we go. Welcome back, everyone. We have another official Phobies tournament match for you, this time from round 3. This was actually submitted on one of my streams for viewer games. I do them weekly where I take a look and watch, well, the viewers' games, and they're always wild. It's always a lot of fun. But this particular one, as mentioned, is from the tournament, the first party tournament, which if you've been living under a rock, the Phobies team is running official tournaments, and it's super exciting, and I always want to call attention to these when we have the opportunity, as we're doing now. Now, before we jump in, I, of course, have to let everybody know that I am part of the content affiliate program, and that means the Phobies team does, in fact, give me coffee for producing Phobies content. But with that out of the way, we're going to take a look at this game. Let's get into it. All right, so we're here on Stumbling Blocks. We've got Boy Bros Mach 8 versus Marky 992. Now, there are some notes here. Round 3 of the tournament, nothing too crazy, just a fast-paced match, I guess. Well, it definitely is. It's 17 turns. These are the notes from our blue player, Boy Bros Mach. Normally, I would refer to everyone as hero and bad guy. I try to avoid it for the tournament, but in this particular case, our hero in the blue trunks did, in fact, submit the game. So they get to be the hero, whereas Marky over here, right here, they get to be the bad guy. So we're seeing an early panic point advantage, a lot of cheaper Phobies in order to stabilize this board position or leap out to an early board positional advantage, including Boom coming out early, which I'm not commonly a fan of. If you watch my streams, you watch my videos, I usually complain about a handful of Phobies, typically about when people put them on the board. But here, you could clean up and mop up a number of different Phobies with this Boom early on if it gets a good connection, and it's definitely going to be a beautiful threat to bully your opponent around the board, force them into positions they don't want to be because they have to respect the Boom. Now, Although we're pulling back a little bit, it's a 3-to-1 panic point advantage, and you're going to have to, as bad guy, advance your Tooth Fairy or something else into the teeth of your opponent's team. Stabilizing with 3-to-2 means you're still taking some damage. Get a quick pick here, but we'll probably see some more 1-key trades. 6 keys in the bank for both players. We're about to find out whether they're satisfied with that and they're going to drop some mid-sized threats, or they're going to go all the way up to 9 keys for the big boys. So you do get a takedown up in the north. We're going to trade 1 keys down here. Cowbell softens up the opposing tickles and then gracefully retreats. Advances in the other direction, one might say. But we get a counter Tooth Fairy, including a counter 2 Tooth Fairy. Both Tooth Fairy and the counter 2 Tooth Fairy. The counter being the creep. Poison damage, of course, doling it out in droves into these dimensional phobies. We'll see if he actually makes a connection or it will be like the boom, just a positional ploy. Bone Mangles is followed, and we do see a boom coming out of bad guy. This is kind of bold here. Is this enough damage to actually pick this Tooth Fairy off? If it is, that would be a good pickup. Great pickup there. It is possible that bad guy is going to be able to free their boom to connect on our blue player's Tooth Fairy, but this is a 5-to-0 panic point damage. A clean 1,000 heart damage going down on our orange player right above my head. In fact, the cassowary does go down thanks to the existing phobies on the board. Boom connects, and that yields a Tooth Fairy takedown. Challenge play succeeded. 4-to-1 panic point advantage blue. Still pretty significant. That's a fair amount of pressure. Our hero here with 4 keys in the bank. Not a ton of board presence, though. Marky, of course, had to go not all in, but had to try and push and reclaim some of this tempo that they've been losing up to this point. No interest in backing down. We're once again back to a 5-to-0 panic point advantage. Flail could cause some issues here. Has some juicy targets, either Creep and Murderwing, or Finnegan plus Cowbell. Due to that AoE attack, of course, Bone Mangles and Bachelor also in position to lend their talents. AWOL not quite there yet. More likely to claim the bottom right panic point. So Finnegan does go down. This eliminates the threat of the boop, or which is the colloquial term for pushes. Those displacement tools, pretty nasty, especially on a map such as this where there are abyss tiles. But you can tell by this heart that is having a bad day. Ooh, look at that heart health. Not much left for our orange player here. Couple slaps from Cowbell causes a trade. The follow-up droney means 4-to-1 panic point advantage. The pressure unrelenting from our blue player. Definitely seizing the moments when they're available. This is a very, maybe not very, but an arguably risky line to take strategically, where you're trying to pressure this much, possibly and frequently sacrificing phobies in order to get that board positional advantage. Keep pressure on your opponent. Push the heart damage. But it looks like it's paying off. But how the turntable. Orange player stabilizing here, finally stemming the tide. Is there enough damage to remove Bo? It looks like there in fact is. AWOL goes down. We're going to get a jar? Snowball. We needed some kind of quick mover in order to claim that panic point back. 2 phobies down. Minotaur, once again, similar to Flail, going to get a AoE hit. Cowbell forced to claim this position. Can't really interact as far as actual fighting goes, but Minotaur does help stabilize these panic points, once again flipping them back in favor of the orange player. Unfortunately, sometimes it is that simple. Sometimes you don't need to actually fight. Sometimes you're just playing and you're just moving. GG. GG, well played. If you're interested in getting your own games reviewed, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. The link for that, of course, is in the description. If you have an awesome tournament game or a game that you just want to have showcased, also hit me up. I would love to talk more about this event. But that's going to do it for this time. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And tune in next time for more Random Thoughts. All right, chap. Nice. We got one of them. That was not the one that somebody mentioned in Discord that I'm going to do later. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is game numero 7. All right, a more normal length game. Coined to me, superpiggy. You know, you have Spider Pig. Was there a Superman Pig variant? Power downs all around, featuring Big Boy Boggart. I like the alliteration there. It's much appreciated. Yeah, we got Spider Pig. Is there a Super Pig? I mean, we got Super Piggy. There has to be, right? By definition. There is the Frogman. How many eyes does Boggart have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are visible. What animals have more than 2 eyes? Like, outside of bugs. Like, put aside bugs, like, yes, spiders. I talked about spiders earlier. But, like, how many mammals have more than 2 eyes? How many amphibians and reptiles? I forget why it came up recently, but I was talking to my wife about, it was something I watched. Yeah, that's what it was. I was watching, I follow a bunch of YouTubers for, like, different animal fact sort of things. And one of them had, like, a viewer question or something about how cool would it be if, you know, we discovered alien life forms somewhere else, and, like, how crazy do you think they're going to be? And they didn't really answer the question. They answered the question in this way, and there's the first power down. Got Wooly Bully. It was kind of a sidestep in the sense that they said it's cool and all to, like, imagine what crazy life forms could be out there on another planet or something, but there's crazy life here on Earth, and there really is, because their answer was like, what if you saw a giraffe? Like, you didn't know what a giraffe was, and you saw a giraffe, you would fucking shit your pants. You'd be like, what the fuck is that? Like, you would freak out if you saw a giraffe or a rhino, or, like, every time I turn around, there's a new horrendous, heinous thing that insects do to each other. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. And the amount of things in nature is just fascinating. And I was talking to my wife about it and, like, explaining the clip to her, and it's true. Like, the amount of animals and creatures you take for granted in real life, where it's like, oh yeah, like, I've seen an elephant. Like, I know what an elephant is. It's not that big a deal. And it's like, no, an elephant is an insane creature when you think about it. It's, like, actually insane. And you could say that about, like, pick an animal. The fact that they are the way they are in their niche in the environment is crazy. And it's like, speaking of Super Piggy, like, you pick superpowers and you're like, oh, well, I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. Or you think of I wonder how many comic book characters were just the character creators flipping through an encyclopedia or like a textbook on different animal species and be like, oh, well, this animal can do this? Well, that sounds like a cool, what if a person could do that? All right, superpower. Bang, we got it. Like, it's crazy to think about, and I hope people don't take this stuff for granted. I mean, I know we do. Sometimes I'll catch myself doing it. And I'm not saying that it's bad or like whatever to be like, oh, well, it's so cool if we could find life forms somewhere else. But at the end of the day, you do have to appreciate that there's some cool ass shit on Earth. Like on this planet. I've seen them. Alright, we gonna get double power downs? I mean, you can't stack them, but... yeah, I don't love this positioning, bad guy. I don't know why they... I mean, the disease isn't that big of a deal, so it's gonna take a while for this Klepto to die, and if you kind of bank on, well, I'll get a Clinico or something to keep it alive, it's not that bad. But I don't know that I love the positioning or the setup here. Like, this... I think bad guy entirely forgot about the Gravedigger. 11 keys to 9. That's a big power down. When was the last time we saw Barzilla? When was the last time we saw a Barzilla? Pathetic damage. That does tell you how much damage Fetch does, because even powered down, it's still doing almost 400 damage. 399. And there is the aforementioned Clinico, or generally speaking healer, to try and keep this Klepto in the fight. Bad news, though. Bad news. That Klepto's got a present that the rest of your team does not want. Down goes Crushmore. Big power down on Barzilla from the Woolly Bully. Big panic point advantage hero. Take that off again. How much damage does the bomb do? 1,400 damage. Oh, by the way, it's an AoE too. Right? It is an AoE, isn't it? Oh, look at that boggart. That's kind of silly. Yeah, it's an AoE. Some big damage there. Big kid damage. I think we'll make Boggart the thumbnail. Haven't done a Boggart thumbnail in a while. I definitely haven't gone through all the phobies on the thumbnails, but there are some that are more interesting aesthetically than others. Some of them I think would be better if I could just get the models, like the in-game models, but I don't even have the art for all of them. Like the card art, I mean. Big damage coming out of Fetch. Barzilla gonna finish off the Klepto. Fire will, really. That, in fact, does not get powered down. Bad guy's cooked. That's a lot of blue panic points. That's a lot of blue phobies right up on your heart. The only question is, how did this... No, I guess bad guys turn 22 and then 23. It's over. Never mind. I was going to say, how did this take 2 more turns? But it's really only 1 more of our hero's turns. Bad guy can try. But try as you might. Do or do not. There is no try. And in fact, bad guy did not. GG. Got him. Well played. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. I haven't seen this name. Oh my god. I haven't seen this name in a while. 35 turns on Dark Manor. Urkeina. Massive level difference. Had to submit this. Also, long time no see. How you doing, Chomp? I'm doing alright, Urk. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's doing well, but Urk in particular, since we're looking at Urk's game. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're getting some names coming back. I'm hoping the new update, which is... I don't want to say imminent, but... it is going to be, you know, like our usual Halloween update. I like the creep follow-up here. Kind of shoos away the Tooth Fairy. So what's the 4 key we want? Gin Sting? Tick is annoying. Ooh. Little ice cream? Okay. Okay. Well, ice cream action. I don't hate it here. Resist the disease, provides a unique threat in freezing things, so... maxed out for our hero, but it shouldn't be too big a deal to remedy that particular situation. Bad guy banked up to 6. What is their follow-up? Really? Guess now's as good a time as any to check the levels. Level 21 Furnace Face. Level 13 Ice Cream. That is a significant level differential. This is actually larger than the earlier game, whoever's game we were watching, where they pointed out that it was a big level differential. And it's like, this is actually a little bit bigger. Panic point advantage gained and lost in the span of a turn. Furnace Face does kind of answer the ice cream to a degree. I don't know if I love, like, I don't know what bad guy's doing with this Furnace Face. Like, that positioning. I mean, you could have just left it where it was if you were going to do that. Unless they specifically want it to be here. Like, if they want it in this tile. That doesn't seem to be the case. But even then, like, the smoke doesn't follow. Why are we... I don't understand what the Furnace Face positioning was. Either way, this is soon to be a dead Tooth Fairy. We got a Smiley as the backup, while our hero invested in little Graylien. I don't hate the creep staying out there. You kind of do need to free up a slot. You're maxed out once again. 7 keys remaining. You probably could have sacked the tickles, right? Are we going to get a mech? How are we responding to this? We are getting a mech. It's Hydra. That leaves 3 keys. Sparky. I mean, I get it. Are Ice Scream and Hydra going to be enough to answer this Smiley? Panic points go to bad guy now. I'm waiting for this Grayland to do something. I think you can... If bad guy doesn't respond appropriately this turn, you can definitely set it up, I think. Oh, no. Bad guy. I think they just sealed their own fate. You burrow in, you swap with the Smiley, you snipe it, and then I don't know the bad guy can kill the Grayland now. Grayland actually has a decent amount of stats. You've activated my trap card. Apparently the lava goes off before... Did you know that, Urk? I'm sure this has come up before, but, like, I wouldn't be able to tell you offhand that the lava activates before Smiley's disease. We do have a disease, thanks to Tick, but that's still a very much alive Grayland. Very much alive. And you have enough time that... I mean, this disease is going to do a favor. You might not have enough time to get another switcheroo. Like, what's the cooldown? Yeah, I don't think you're going to live. The old switcheroo. Bad guy has no keys. They gotta win with what they've got, and I'm not sure they can. Also, what exactly is Furnace Face dragging behind them? Like, look back here. I know I'm kind of blocking it, but like, what are those tendrils behind it? Like, is it supposed to be the cables or the pipes from the furnace? His cables is not right, so it would be, you know, like I don't know what that's supposed to be. Alright, this is how Grayland stays in the game. We got a muffin. I wonder if bad guys considering just backing off and being like they probably should back off and just let the Grayland die and then go from there. Right? Like, now the Grayland can't reach anything. So you were able to drain a key from your opponent, the Muffin in particular, without... Didn't cost you anything. Now, you do have to worry about time at this stage, because you're down on panic points. You have to advance. I feel like we've seen this before. Yep, and there's the freeze, locking them down. Ball game, folks. Very well played, Urk. I will say that I think bad guy kind of walked into that one. Not that, well, they walked into this one too, but like the Grayland play. I wonder if they just straight up forgot the potential for the burrow. And I know the Furnace Face Thaw is threatening, but like, even Haffy can make this happen. Back to a 3-0. Bad guy just kind of took too long doing whatever it is the hell they were trying to do. GG. Well played. GG. I think that was game 9, chat. Oh, that was 8. That was 8. All right, we got a close game here on Ergo. Zeze 3-3-0. This match defines aggression. The second I looked at it, and I thought it said defies aggression. I'm like, okay, we got a cool defense. But in fact, it's defines, which I don't know that I agree when you have something that's on the higher end of turns. I guess we'll see. We will see. We got a couple of new people after this. One is going to have to wait till next week. But the other one we're going to get in is our last game. We got a Gesundheit coming out, a bad guy. Unclear as to why. But we do have Henrietta connecting. Murderwing. Big poison there. We're always talking about spiders, chat. We're either eating spiders, we're learning about spiders, and there's speaking of the creators I was referencing earlier, one of them does funny videos about. I mean, they started out with they're from Australia, and they were joking about like how the same joke that everybody makes, like, oh my god, there's so many dangerous things in Australia, and blah blah blah. Whether it's spiders or it's jellyfish or it's this animal or it's that animal or whatever. But they started branching out and doing stuff on other animals, too. Still in the same funny way, but... I wonder what spider Henrietta is supposed to be. I mean, part of it is gameplay-wise. So, you know, you have Sarcassin, which is higher poison, shorter duration, whereas Henrietta is lower poison, but much longer duration. But I wonder if they're supposed to be specific spiders. Like, did they have something in mind, or was it just a game mechanic thing? Like, we want a cheap long poison, and we want a cheap short poison. And in order to make the short poison make sense, it has to do more damage. Or it went the other way and said, in order to make the long poison make sense, it has to do less damage. Speaking of spiders, dude, we had so many spiders tonight. So many spiders. I should put an arachnophobia warning on this video. See, it all comes full circle, all the way back to the beginning. It's just a theme throughout the entire night. Maybe I should put one of the spiders on there. I did try to do that with one of the thumbnails once and do a, like, I found a really creepy looking picture of what I assume was like a tarantula or something. It was kind of like it was like a black and white picture. So it was interesting. Like, it looked cool, but I assume it was supposed to look creepy. But I couldn't get it to look the right way on the thumbnail. It just never worked right. I don't feel this one is defining aggression here. At least not so far. Admittedly, we were talking about spiders a lot, so I got distracted. This game defines reconstruction. You were or demolition, I guess is a better way to put it, because you were demolishing the board. We haven't really rebuilt anything, so I guess reconstruction doesn't fit. You gotta bear with me. I'm tired, chat. What other undead have hair? Goon has hair, right? Whoever assembled the undead consciously chose to give Gravedigger, like, headbanger metal hair. Which is kind of cool. Quick pick there on the opposing construction worker. We are constructing things. We did create an obstacle so far. Frosty going in for the big damage alongside their cousin Ray Chargel. Still not enough to kill the spider, though. That is... oof. That's an oof moment. That's a big oof moment. Ooh, taking down the boom. 0 keys for bad guy. This is bold, because that spider's going to die to the lava, isn't it? Wow, the magic pixel. Although that seems silly, it does require the extra hit, meaning that Frosty can't reposition. Now, our hero may have been banking on that, you know, like the way the math worked out, or they might have just assumed that Ray was going to happen or whatever, but we do get a pseudo heebie-jeebie special. We lock out the Frosty, sort of. It can move around, so it's not the end of the world. But because of this, you can't get the Blom due to where the heart is, so you can get that stacked eye set up with the Gravedigger and the Murder Wing in order to shell the heart. Bad guy choosing to try and stabilize a little bit on the panic point side, but, I mean, the writing's on the wall. Writing is on the wall. Without a big Frosty play, it's a massive, massive key investment for really virtually no payout. Getting the whole team involved here. Good positioning here from Zeze. I love the sound effect from Stairmaster. It just sounds like an impressive laser. We do get the freeze here. Unfortunately, too little, too late. Too little, too late. GG. Got him. Well done. All right, last game of the evening, chat. All right, last game. Our hero is arrombs. Arrombs? I gotta be honest, I don't know how to say your name. The old Christmas plaid avatar. I believe this person's new to viewer games. I don't think we've looked at any of their games before. If so, welcome. If not, welcome. Would have been the same greeting anyway. Look at this comeback of the notes. All right, let's see what we've got. Looked at this game earlier for a tournament game. See how this particular one plays out. We still have a bunch of Painful Fate games, like a million Scorpioastro games. We're not going to get through all of them, and a bunch of them don't have notes. Hopefully we don't get any patches that break them. But it's going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... We have like another month and a half of spreading out Scorpioastro games unless like we suddenly hit a dearth of people submitting games, which I don't think is going to happen at this point. All right, I like the Gravedigger here, opening up the innocuous sight lines. You can't really advance though, so this is just going to cover the... Yeah, I wouldn't advance here because between the Benny and the cassowary, that could be a dead innocuous, and that's not a position you want to be in, not with your current board state. Although here, with the 2 body blockers, despite the damage, I don't think there's any way to get to that innocuous. And you have now Stabby back up, covering all 3 panic points very, very well. All right, we're just going to sacrifice the boom. By we, I mean bad guy. I don't like this if you're a bad guy. You're trading 4 keys for 2, and they are, at least the cassowary I would consider a valuable key. Plus, it's possible you can, our hero can get the AWOL as well. Now, the only thing here is they might be banking on the fact that, okay, for a second I thought you were going to move in and hit the cassowary, but they might be banking on the fact that AWOL plus Benny is enough to kill the Innocuous, but I have to imagine our hero is just going to body block, right? I mean, it's a lot of orange for the moment, but then it's not that much orange, and bad guy is banked to 8. That's interesting, I guess. I'm a little surprised they didn't reposition the Benny. I guess it's fine. But it does leave the Eternal Knight active on the board. Once again, living with a magic pixel. I think we're going to get a retreat here. Bad guy is going to be able to pressure if they want. They can clear out the Eternal Knight, challenge play back the Benny. The cat can swing in on the bottom. Oh, we're going to do it with the cat here. Interesting. I was kind of expecting the Razor Mouth to go to the bottom left panic point. And then make it a 4-to-1 panic point advantage once again. Like, maybe swing the Flesh Crawler down, so you go cat Flesh Crawler and then follow up with Snowball, because then our hero wouldn't really be able to counterattack very effectively. But either way, it didn't happen. So we have sheep coming in once again. We've been getting a lot of sheep in viewer games lately. I guess. I mean, I don't know. I've never been a huge fan of sheep, but I guess it's fine. I mean, I like it. I like that line. Block off the Flesh Crawler from getting a very easy hit down the center. Baba Yaga. Okay. Alright, so no fart explosion. We're just going for the kill on the Benny. Are we gonna droney? Oh, we're gonna... Wow. Couldn't droney. We're maxed out. But the Gravedigger going deep in order to claim the kill on Benny. I mean, we're going to end up sacrificing some things as our hero here. However, I don't think it's going to be that bad. Bad guy's got to have a trap around here somewhere. In fact, it's right there. It does snipe the Gravedigger. It leaves his sheep exposed, and that might not be great. But I think this is just to set up a potential kill onto the Flesh Crawler here. You're representing 5 attacks. Or we can just go for the big fart explosion. And you can, like, just kill the Sargassum with the Innocuous. It's fine. 392. What level is your Innocuous? Wow, level 5. Alright, alright. I mean, you can mop up the Sargassum anyway, clearly. No big deal. Do get a big tentacles hit. Kills... Oh, claims 2 Phobies. But 0 keys to 0 keys, and I think there's just enough damage here to burn it down. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah! Down goes bad guy. Well played. Not bad. Honestly, I don't know. I don't call it a comeback. We've always been here. It was, well, I take it back. It was a little dicey in the middle. It was a little dicey in the middle. We'll leave it as a comeback. All right, chat. That's going to do it for tonight. Definitely some interesting games tonight. Some long games tonight. I'm glad I started early. If you're interested in submitting your own games, I keep saying, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. You'll see all the instructions. Really not that hard. But that's going to do it for tonight. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and tune in next time for more Random Thoughts.